This video is sponsored by Phoenix Pharos cards. If you need supplies of singles or splits for Cardfight Vanguard, especially the ones in the video, do check out Phoenix Pharos cards today, and as a bonus, use the promo code MetaNerd to get an amazing 5% discount. And with that being said, let's get on with the video. Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the MetaNerd channel. I am Marcus, bringing you another video for Cardfight Vanguard Willdress. In this video, we'll be wrapping up whatever reveals for DBT11. I mean, there's still quite a few of them. There are quite a few of them that are quite significant for supporting the respective Rideline, and some of them are quite game-changing. Without further ado, let's take a look at what is left for DBT11. First off, we have Fire Beacon of Erosion. It's a Blitz Order card. Play this if you have a Vanguard with Hydra Grum. Choose one of your rearguard without any Dragon Tree marker. Put a Dragon Tree marker. Choose one of your units being attacked, and it gets 10k power until the end of that battle. If you have a Vanguard with Jovial Juggler in its card name, it gets 20k power instead of a 10k. I mean, this is surprisingly a really good order for Jovial Juggler. It's a 10k to 20k shield while at the same time generating a Dragon Tree marker. With how the grade 10 deck is functioning, you definitely want to spam this as much as possible just to get like free value out of the Dragon Tree marker, because at the moment, in order to generate Dragon Tree marker is by using the grade 2 and the grade 1 Dragon Tree, which each of them actually cost 1 counterblast. I mean, you do generate 2 Dragon Tree marker when you ride the grade 10, but then again, you will need that extra 1 to get the full effect of Jovial Juggler. So this card will be a 10k shield on turn 1 and turn 2. On turn 1 and turn 2, since you will be at the grade 0 Jovial Seed. And then after you ride to the grade 10, this card will just be a 20k shield while generating a Dragon Tree marker, which doesn't really cost anything, which is super nice. With this card being a 4-off, you could definitely just take out like the grade 1 and grade 2 Dragon Tree, which free up more space for you to run other stuff within whatever nation you choose to play with Jovial Juggler. It's not bad, it's quite game changing, and it's probably going to be very stupid. Moving to Dragon Empire, we have Arm Wings Dragon. Continuous Rigor Circle. If your Vanguard was placed by riding from a unit with Musashi armor in its card name and your personnel rode this turn, this unit gets 10k power. Second skill auto, when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, if you have a card with Musashi armor in its card name on your Vanguard circle or in your soul, cast Counterblast 1 and draw a card. Yeah, this is like a very weird support card that is, you know, supporting like one of those grade 3 boss unit that you don't really think about or even consider to be run in the deck, and that card being this card. This guy here is basically enabling personnel ride any other boss that you ride on top of him. The only catch here is that you will need to ride into him for 1 turn, and then only then you're able to get a personnel ride, which is quite weird in a sense, because why would you want to sacrifice a grade 3 turn for a personnel ride when you can just go into whatever boss unit that you are playing and have a much better grade 3 turn. Regardless of the weirdness, this card needs to survive a turn for you to get the 10k power, and is essentially a dead card after that, which is quite stupid in terms of running this deck. However, the second skill is actually quite useful because you will only need Musashi armor in the soul for you to get the Counterblast 1 and a draw, which is okay, I would say. Counterblast 1 for a draw. These days, you can't really complain of Counterblast 1 for a draw because a draw is just broken. It's a very nice skill, but then again, in order to even play this card, you will need to play alongside Musashi armor, which is not really a great card in my opinion. But hey, if you can make this card work, I would say props to you. Next, for Dark States, we have Blazing Gunfire Colossus. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle by your Vanguard's ability, cast Counterblast 1, draw a card, and this unit gets 5k power until the end of turn. Second skill, Auto Rigor Circle. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, countercharge 1. So a 15k attacker while actually lets you draw a card, which is very nice. I think the main selling point of this card is basically the counter charge for a grade 4 decks, which at the moment Dark States only have 2, which is the grade 4 Bruce as well as Chrono Jet, because Chrono Jet can stride to grade 4, so very nice. Of course, you probably will not be getting the first skill if you're gonna play this card inside a Bruce deck, because Bruce by himself doesn't really call anything. The first part of this skill is definitely negligible. Grade 4 Bruce do need counter charge, so that second skill is definitely going to be nice. Insight Boost. Chronojet is without a doubt the best fit for this card because you have Fate Rider Dragon that actually Spherical calls from the deck, which will therefore trigger the first skill to let you draw a card, and you have a 15k attacker. And what's more, it does gives you back the counter charge, which is going to be very nice. You don't necessarily have to use the first skill. If you manage to attack hit with this guy, it's just free counter charge as long as you are in grade 4. If you stride into next stage, then of course you will need to attack with Colossus first before you even attack with next stage, because you will stride down to Chronojet. Not bad, but not really big in terms of utility. Next, we have Jovial Juggler, Continuous Soul. When a card would be chosen from your soul by your Vanguard's ability, this card may be chosen as a grade 0. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle from soul by the active ability of your Vanguard with only Pale Moon for its clan, cost put another Rigor into the soul, choose a card from your soul, and call it the Rigor Circle. At the end of the turn, put the card called by this effect into soul. This card here is mainly to be used to support Lukir's Superior Calling skill. I mean, Lukir do have that one Superior Call from the soul skill, which you will only be able to Superior Call up to 3 different grades from the soul, which this card is providing a lot of utility. Since this card can be chosen as a grade 0, it does helps out a lot in terms of that skill, because the only grade 0 that you have in the soul is probably going to be your starter and triggers, which are not going to help in the long run because those are starters and triggers. They don't really do a lot. You could basically just call to Jovial Juggler since this card only says you may. The second skill to put a Rigor into the soul and recall that is actually very nice, since you are able to unlock the power boost that Rising Dragon has, as well as activating Breeding Dragon if he is in the soul or Rigor Circle, because Breeding Dragon is only able to activate his skill when he's Superior Called from the soul, and then you just Soul Blast 1 to give the front row 5k. It's a very nice skill to have, but he needs to be called from the soul, which this cards actually help you to Superior Call that card out. And of course, for Rising Dragon, you will need to call a total of 4 cards from the soul for him to even get the 10k, the extra 10k power. I mean, we all know how big Rising Dragon can attack. He's at the minimum a 20k attacker. If you Superior Call this card with Lukir's skill, you are able to definitely put another Rigor into the soul and then Superior Call another Rising Dragon, which will then allow Rising Dragon to be at 30k minimum. Of course, with Personal Right, it's going to be 40k, which is going to be stupid. And what's more is that this card does put back whatever that is called by this effect. It means that at the end of the Lukir's turn, Lukir will not have any rearguards, which is actually a good thing. The good thing is that you're not really that susceptible to bot control, which is always going to be nice due to how many decks that actually has bot control skills nowadays. This card is a godsend for Lukir. Next, for Cater Sanctuary, we have Divine Sister Savarin. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, choose up to 1 normal unit with only Genesis from its clan from your drop, and you may put it on top of the deck. This just basically helps Minerva recycle the common mill as well as Angelica for more sustainability, because Angelica here provides you with counter charge, which you definitely will want, and common mill is basically your win con for Minerva because she is the sole reason you are able to keep multi-attack with a Minerva deck. So it's a very nice card to have, and it does helps you with sustainability. Not only that, this card does have some unique synergy with Drilling Angel. Since you are putting whatever Genesis card from the drop to the top of the deck, if you have another copy in your drop zone, you can call Drilling Angel to put that specific copy into the soul, and then you definitely will get that target, which is really nice. Savarin here basically guarantees whatever you soul charge on top of your deck is going to be the intended target that you want to soul charge, which is probably going to be Chamomile. This card is just broken. Next up, we have Lofty Soul Dragon. Auto Rigor Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit attacks a Vanguard. Cost, retire this unit. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with only Genesis for its clan from among them. Reveal it and put it into your hand, and put the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. If you did not reveal a card, choose one of your Vanguard and it gets 5k power until the end of turn. Okay, so this card is unique in terms of getting more key pieces from the deck. Is definitely going to be nice, since, you know, consistency is the big thing nowadays. Be it only the top 3, it's okay, but then again, after me talking about Savarin, I think you should probably know how valuable in terms of stacking what the top deck card will be. So you do not need to take any cards from the top deck to actually give the power. Even if there is a Genesis card from the top 3, you don't necessarily have to take that card, and you can just give 5k power to a restanding Minerva. But hey, there are cases where you actually want to take any Genesis card from the top 3 cards into your hand in order order to set up the next turn. And lastly, of course, since Chamomile will be recalling on tops of units, with this card cost being retired itself is actually very nice, since Chamomile will definitely be recalling on tops of unit, which will then retire whatever she's placed on top of. It's a very subtle thing, but it's actually very nice that this card clears out the front row in order for Chamomile to, you know, Spherical from the soul. Very nice skill. Next, we have Magic of Colored Fire's Lerelim. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, other than during the battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with only Genesis in its card name for its clan, cost Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Choose a card from your hand and reveal it. Call it to Rigor Circle if it's a unit card with grade equal to or less than your Vanguard, and discard it if it isn't. Second skill, Auto Rigor Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a Vanguard with only Genesis for its clan, cost, put 2 Rigors in the same column as this unit into the soul. Choose a card with only Genesis for its clan from your drop and put it into your hand. This is a very long skill. The first skill is basically helping you to get more piece from the deck, which is going to be nice since you will be calling things out anyway. You might just call this card first to activate the skill to draw 1 and decide what card you want to call out, which does helps in terms of consistency as well as conserving some of your hand, because you do draw 1 and you're going to call something out anyway, so technically your hand doesn't really decrease, which is definitely going to be nice. So she will probably be the first unit that you will want to call from your hand, because you know this card does help with board setup and definitely going to be very nice in terms of that. The second skill actually allows you to recycle whatever Chamomile that you called the previous turn, go back into the soul before your Minerva's restanding skill, which in the sense is a very nice skill to have. And also this card does funds like 1/3 of Minerva's restanding cost, because Minerva do need to Soul Blast 3. I feel that this card is game changing for Minerva. It does helps a ton. The utility that this card brings for Minerva is just out of this world. Next, for Stoichea, we have Blast Rain Fairy. Active drop. If you have a Vanguard with Shield Fisher in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, call this card to Rigor Circle and it gets 5k power until the end of turn. Yeah, this is another card that is like very weird, because it is supporting like a very niche boss unit for like this card here. At least this guy here is a much more better Vanguard than Musashi Armor, because this card is an 18k base, which is quite stupid. So Blast Fairy basically recalls itself from the drop zone, which will then helps to activate Shield Fisher's restriction, because Shield Fisher's restriction will need you to Superior Call anything other than from your hand in order to attack. So this card basically takes care of that, and it's a Counterblast 1, very cheap, and he's a 13k attacker or booster. Very nice. It basically provides you with more options to Superior Call from the drop zone by using Spiritual Body Condensation, the other card. Definitely going to be very nice in terms of board building, as well as supporting an 18k base Vanguard. Simply stupid. Next, we have Tyrannite Ieroklis. Although when this unit is placed on Rigor Circle, if you have a Vanguard with only Aqua Force for its clan, cost, discard a card from your hand, search your deck or drop for up to 1 Blue Storm Armada card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and if you search the deck, shuffle the deck. I mean, this card basically helps you search out the Blue Storm Armada card, which we currently only have one type of it. I mean, I'm sure whenever Maelstrom receive more support, there should be like one more Blue Star Armada cards. But for now, we only have this one, which is definitely great by its own already. This card basically just helps you with consistency. And since this card is able to search from the drop as well as the deck, it's actually a super nice card to be run. It's not going to be run at max copies, because the moment you call this card and you discard 1 to get that out, this card is basically dead after that. Not too bad, but not necessarily going to be at 4 off. The discard cost isn't really a cost, because you are able to Superior Call your stuff back, provided you discard like a Tear Dragon or a Aqua Force unit. It's just really good. And since Maelstrom has more draw power, yeah, the discard cost is nothing. Last but not least, for Stoichea, we have Gatling Wave Dragon. Auto Rigor Circle. When this unit attacks, if it is the 5th battle of this turn or more, and you have a Vanguard with Maelstrom in its card name, this unit gets 10k power until the end of that battle. At the end of the battle, retire this unit and draw a card. I think this card is like errata upon release. Yeah, other than this card being errata, this card is a Inlet Pulse 2.0. But the only problem here is that this card is only able to activate its skill if it is attacking for the 5th battle or more. This restriction actually lets this card drop in terms of value. He's a 23 attacker on the 5th battle or more, which is fairly decent, and if you're personal right, he's going to be a 33 at the minimum, which is definitely going to be nice. But once again, the 5th battle or more restriction is not really doing great for this card. However, the really good thing about this card is that this card is a tier dragon, which Bluestorm Armada is able to call. Maybe 1 or 2 cards of this is enough for the deck, since you are able to search this out and, you know, get more draws. Fairly stupid, if I do say so myself. The last card of this video will be Fulfiller of Spherical Harmony. Auto when this unit is retired from Guardian Circle, cost Soul Blast 1, and call this card to an open back row Rigor Circle as rest. Second skill, Auto Rigor Circle. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If your Vanguard is grade 4, cost put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your unit and it gets 5k power until the end of turn. This card is a Link Joker card. There's no denying it. I mean, you could run this in a Seraph Snow deck, but then again, there's really no need to run this. Inside a Seraph Snow deck, it's more for Messiah. This card does helps to build the board while, you know, defending against an aggressive opponent. This card does helps with, you know, from some of the 5k guards that the opponent may throw at you, and you do get a rigor out of it, which is definitely going to be nice. But the only problem here is that it costs 1 soul. The reason here is that Messiah generally does not have a lot of soul, which is why Messiah tends to rely in terms of the grade 1 Mikani or the prison to get more soul. I mean, it's okay, I would say. You definitely don't want to soul blast the grade 2 of the right line, because he is going to call himself out from the soul, which, you know, if you soul blast it out, then it's too bad. This card being at Soul Blast 1 is not that great, but she does of course replace the Soul Blast cost by putting herself 2 soul and choose another unit to get the 5k, which is definitely super nice. And as if Messiah's column isn't hitting hard enough, they give another unit to give more power. Simply disgusting, and I have no words in terms of how hard Messiah can hit. It's just stupid. And that is all for this video. Do let me know down in the comment section of what do you think of this support. Do like and subscribe if you like this video, and of course during the bell notification icon so that you don't miss a video I upload. With that being said, I'll see you all on the field.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.